Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Downtown Middletown, which of course is in the city of Middletown. Before we get started, I want to acknowledge many of our friends and colleagues that have joined us here today. Secretary of State Rosanna Rosada, Senator John Bonisic, Assemblywoman Aileen Gunther, Orange County Executive Steve Newhouse, Orange County Legislator Jeff Berkman, Orange County Legislator Mike Paduch, President of SUNY Orange, Dr. Christine Young, Middletown Common Council President Miguel Rodriguez, and a group of aldermen from the city of Middletown, Alderman Massey and Alderman Burr from the First Ward, Alderman Witt and Alderman Kleiner from the Second Ward, Alderwoman Kate Ramkasoon from the Third Ward, Alderman June Jean-Francois from the Fourth Ward. We also have with us Mid-Hudson Regional Economic Development Council members Jonathan Drapkin, Maureen Hallahan, Jim Taylor, Jackie Leventoff, and Al Samuels. Thank you all so much for coming. We are here today to celebrate the future of the Middletown economy here in the Hudson Valley. I have the distinct honor to represent this area as the city mayor, and every day I find reason to strengthen my pride. Over the last several years, Middletown, like much of upstate New York, has experienced transformative growth and development thanks to the attention and commitment of Governor Andrew Cuomo. Thank you. Like many American cities, the heart of Middletown is our downtown urban center. Here we have a thriving business community, merging innovative educational facilities and institutions with an expanding and diverse population. Today, the theme of our downtown is one word: potential. Middletown stands poised to build a dynamic and vibrant urban center that is fit to lead the 21st century. Under the leadership of Governor Cuomo, places like downtown Buffalo, Syracuse, and Rochester are already experiencing a renaissance. They are investing in public transportation, public parks, and historical preservation, making their community a magnet for business opportunity. Now, I believe it is Middletown's chance to grow and to grow its downtown into a modern hub of activity, creating a future that will bring more jobs and investment here into our city, raising incomes and improving the quality of life. Please now join me in giving a warm welcome to a champion of the upstate economy and who believes that downtowns are the key to future growth in our state, our Governor, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. It is my pleasure to be at the Paramount Theater today. How beautiful is this theater, huh? Always wanted to play a theater. First to your mayor, who's doing an extraordinary job, and his performance, without giving away the point of the visit, his performance is really vindicated today because he's done an extraordinary job, especially when it comes to economic development and focusing on downtown areas. So let's give him a big round of applause. To my colleagues, Senator Bonasek and Assemblywoman Gunther, we were together just last week with Bethel Woods. We had the Catskill Challenge, which is basically a tourism event, and we bring people in from all across the state to see the tourism opportunities that are in the Catskill area. And we have very serious competitions during the Catskill Challenge. I challenge the Senate and the Assembly to a rafting race on the Delaware River. Let's just say the Senate was not successful. Let's just say that. I don't want to say that Senator Bonasek is a spoiled sport, but he would not come to the closing ceremony at which the awards were there. Assemblywoman Gunther, I think, won every award just because she had the best smile in the place. But you should know they are really an extraordinary duo. We went through last year basically the issue of casinos and bringing gaming to New York, and you couldn't have had better champions and better advocates to make the point that there are places in this state that don't have the luxury of choosing what type of economic engine they want. Its options, and that in some areas gaming is the greatest single option. And we got it after many, many, many years of trying, and it wouldn't have happened without John Bonasek and Aileen Gunther. So let's give them a big round of applause. And we have our Secretary of State, Rosanna Rosado. She really deserves the applause because she runs the program that we're here to talk about today, the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. Madam Secretary of State. Secretary of State was also at the Catskill Challenge and won the Dirty Dancing Award. I don't really know what that meant, and I don't really know that I want to know what that meant, but she won the Dirty Dancing Award. So give her a big round of applause for the Dirty Dancing Award. Look, today is a much different day in the state of New York. And when you talk about Hudson Valley, Mid-Hudson Valley, upstate, anything north of the Bronx, the economy has been very, very tough for a very long time. A person in Buffalo said to me once, when it comes to the economy, it's been a bad 40 years. And I thought he was joking. He wasn't joking. It's a bad 40 years. When you look at when the arrows changed in upstate New York and environs, when did the economy start to go down? It's when the manufacturing economy started to turn, and when those manufacturing companies went overseas, which was part of this country's trade policy, which didn't make a lot of sense then, doesn't make a lot of sense now. But we gave away those manufacturing jobs. And there was nothing there to replace it. And more than nothing there to replace it, there was no one there to help communities replace it. Because now the challenge is you have to find the economy of tomorrow, right? And you need help in transforming your economy to the economy of tomorrow. And it pains me to say the state government, which should have been there with a helping hand, was not there, and was not there for a lot of years. The state government in Albany, in truth, was hyper-focused on downstate New York. And it was about the metropolitan region, and it was about the city. And that's where the majority of the elected officials in Albany come from. There's no doubt it's a very big economic factor in this state. But there's also the rest of the state. And the state government was just focused on the metropolitan area and basically left the Hudson Valley, upstate New York, to fend for themselves. And that doesn't work. That doesn't work. You can't have a place that is under economic hardship and has no financial partner. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You don't have boots. What are you supposed to do? We reversed that 180 degrees under this administration. I said openly that the state government was too focused on New York City. I said openly that we had to do a 180-degree turn, and I am very proud that this administration has invested more in upstate New York and the Hudson Valley than any administration in the history of the state of New York. That's what we've done. We invested over $25 billion, and it is an investment. It's not a gift. We're investing in bringing back jobs, bringing back communities, and I believe that $25 billion is going to reap a dividend. And by the way, that helps upstate, helps the Hudson Valley, also helps New York City, because we're one state. We're one set of books. When upstate Hudson Valley does well, New York City does well. Upstate Hudson Valley doesn't do well, New York City's going to have to pay the price anyway. So it was prudent for everyone that we invest in bringing jobs back to the communities that were struggling. We also had a totally different way of doing it. We just changed the methodology 180 degrees. Rather than having bureaucrats sit in Albany and tell communities what they needed or what they thought they needed, we flipped it. We said to the local communities, you tell us what you need. We said, rather than focusing on just localities, we want to focus on regions. Why? Because that's how the economy works. The economy works in regions. It doesn't work in a county or a town or a city. Either the regional economy is going to work or the regional economy is not going to work. And we said we have to get out of this mentality of just doing these episodic redevelopments where we're going to work on housing or transportation or economic development. They either all work together or none of them work. And really, you have to have that comprehensive regional plan that invests the local community. And we said there are two generators to build on. One, where are the jobs coming from nationwide? They're coming out of institutes of higher education. They are the new idea, the new tech idea, the new biotech idea that then becomes a spin-off company. It's what made Silicon Valley, Silicon Valley. And we've invested a lot of money in improving the SUNY system. So the SUNY system delivers those ideas, and those ideas then germinate as businesses in the state of New York. And the other area where the economic development occurs is in communities that attract people, which are now downtown areas. And it's interesting, you know, people predicted at one time when there was the internet that it might actually have people separate themselves, that we don't need to congregate because you can stay at home and you can do everything from your home computer. You can shop from your home computer, you can go to school from your computer, you can find a date on the computer, you don't have to go anywhere, you just stay at your computer. Actually, the opposite happened. The opposite happened, because it left out a factor. People like people, generally. Most people like people. Most people like some people. Some people nobody likes. But people like to be in the company of people. So a downtown area where people congregate, that has recreation, that has culture, that has a restaurant, where you can meet other people, where you can enjoy yourself, those areas are thriving. And bringing back the downtown areas wind up stimulating economic generators. So we have dedicated ourselves now to redeveloping the best downtown areas across the state. How do we do it? We don't do it in Albany. We had a competition. And I believe in competition because it brings up everybody's game. And we said to Mayor DeStefano, you want to compete for a downtown revitalization grant. By the way, you're competing against over 100 other downtown areas. And the best downtown redevelopment plan will win a grant of $10 million, up to $10 million. And all the downtowns put together committees, and they worked very hard, and they came up with their most creative ideas. And by the way, even if they don't win, they're better for having gone through the planning process and having those meetings and having those discussions. So I really believe there are no losers because the process itself was a good process. But your application spoke about how Toro was coming in and how the community college was growing. The investment that you've made already, over $60 million in infrastructure to make the downtown area work. And it was a very, very powerful application, and I'm here to tell you congratulations, you won the full $10 million award. To you guys. So congratulations, congratulations, because it was a tough competition and a lot of people worked very hard, but you really did an extraordinary job. And cream rises to the top, and you won, and you should have won, because it was really a job well done. I also think this is not just a moment, but you know what, the arrows really are turned around, and the trajectory really is different. We've made a lot of progress in the past few years, and there's a lot that you should be proud of, because we have made a lot of progress. You know, 5 years ago, this state, we were hemorrhaging jobs. We were one of the highest tax states in the country. We've now brought down taxes, where our income tax rate for the middle class up to $300,000. Lowest income rate in 70 years, believe it or not, 70 years. We have more private sector jobs in this state than have ever existed in history, 7.9 million jobs. Unemployment is down all across the state. Unemployment is down as much in upstate and the Hudson Valley as it is in New York City, which has never happened before. The economic growth is now all across the state. 70,000 new jobs in the Mid-Hudson alone. So, and the best is yet to be. You're committed to the community. It shows. You put together a great product. I'm excited to see this downtown grow. Together, I think the goal is not to make the Mid-Hudson what it was. The goal is to make it better than it ever was before. And that's what we're going to do. Congratulations.
First of all, I think we could all go home. We got the $10 million. There's nothing else to say. First of all, let me start with a lot of thank yous. You know, I don't want to tell you how old I am, but this is the 5th governor that I have served under in the state of New York, the 5th governor. But I have to tell you, in my humble opinion, this governor has worked the hardest for upstate New York. This governor. Just, Governor, you may not realize it, but you brought state funds for this theater. Of the 5 governors, no one put the legislation forward for the 4 resort licenses that's going to help with education. You had the courage to do it, and I've thanked you for that on other events. And those fees, those license fees, you're already realizing the benefit of it. But from the brewery that you've done, the healthcare center, and what you're doing for downtown revitalization here, we thank you very much. Joe DiStefano, the Common Council, your leadership, Joe. Smart investment, creating jobs, and you're making Middletown stronger and better. We thank Joe DiStefano and the Common Council. We thank every member on the Mid-Hudson Regional Economic Development Council for their vote for the city of Middletown. That was big. I believe, and the last thing I want to say is that, you know, the governor got up here and he talked about the tourism, and he likes to talk about the canoe race that they won. But do you think for a single minute we would not let the governor win? God bless you all. Congratulations. Our good Assemblywoman Gunter. Aileen.
Thank you, John. Last week, I was happy to welcome Governor Cuomo to Sullivan County for the Catskill Challenge. I was even happier when he announced a $5 million ad campaign to promote tourism in our region. I'm thrilled that he brought $10 million check today, and I'm over the moon because I'm waiting for next week to see what you're going to bring to our area. Bring it on, Governor. I said before, but it bears repeating, good government is made by good partners. We've worked hard to redevelop our economy and restore opportunities for families and businesses in Middletown. And Governor Cuomo has been a great, and I repeat, great partner for all of us. We all share the same vision for the city of Middletown, a vibrant, diverse, small city where people can live, work, and raise their families. A small upstate city rich with cultural and recreational opportunities, a place our children will come back to and raise their children. Now, with the Downstate Revitalization Initiative, we have the opportunity to build on our hard work and realize that vision. The $10 million will help modernize a beautiful core of the community, attracting jobs and young people while assuring our downtown remains a viable economic epicenter for the entire Hudson Valley. My colleagues, particularly Mayor DiStefano, who I'm crazy about, have shown true commitment to revitalizing our community and transforming it into an engine for the entire regional economy. I'm grateful and proud to work side by side with all of you in Middletown. Thank you.
You know, I would be remiss if I didn't thank our team also, since the governor mentioned the team, and he was right. Our Economic Development Director, Maria Bruni, and our Assistant Director, John Degnan. And our Commissioner of Public Works, Jacob Tawil, our Corporation Counsel, Rich Girton, and Caitlin McNamara, our PowerPoint presenters, so our preparer, not presenter. But thank you, Assemblywoman Gunther and Senator Bonasik, for your kind words, and thank you for being here and all the work you did to make this happen. As the Senator and Assemblywoman said, Governor Cuomo is giving us the chance to significantly advance the future of our urban center here in Middletown. Governor Cuomo, I am excited and optimistic to work with your team in the coming months to make this a reality. Now, please, everyone stay seated, and we're going to have a check presentation right here in front of the podium, because that's the most important part, right?